I was hoping we could talk about free will.
Love that.
You say you endowed us with free will and the ability to make our own choices.
Yes, and that's why when you get punished for making bad choices, it's not my fault, see, because I didn't force you to do that. Choices have consequences, and I love you enough to let you make your own choices, even if it means that sometimes you're gonna make choices that really bum me out.
Great answer.
Thank you.
And you're omnipotent?
Huh?
You're omnipotent, correct?
Oh, yes.
Omnipresent and omniscient as well, right?
Yeah, sure.
You know everything that ever has or ever will happen. All things are happening presently for you at all times, and it is impossible for anything to happen that you don't know about or that you do not wish to happen.
Pretty much, yeah.
So how can I make a choice that you don't want me to make? Do you need me to repeat the question?
No, free will. Free will. You have free will. You get to do.
But it's impossible for anything in the universe to happen unless you want it to happen. Nothing happens unless you will it to.
That's right.
So I cannot make a choice that you don't want me to make because nothing can happen unless you want it to.
But I don't want you to sin.
Well, then I shouldn't be able to. If it's not your will for me to sin, then it should be cosmically impossible for me to do so, according to your own self-described design.
Donald Trump is president.
What?
Trump 2024.
That is the best script that I've seen about free will from anywhere else. And the idea of free will in the Bible is absolutely ignorant. First, this guy gives an ultimatum. The ultimatum is either you love me or I'm going to torture you and burn you in for eternity in hell. Then he claims that he gives us free will. And this is what Christians claim. You have a free will to choose him. You have a free will not to choose him. But if your God is all-powerful, all-knowing, then this God already knew that when Lorenzo Reed was born, that he was going to grow up in the church, that he was going to become a deacon, that he was going to teach his word. But then upon dissecting this book, he would walk away from it and then speak on the platforms to which he speaks on. And then I'm going to torture him for eternity. I made Lorenzo just for that purpose, so that I can torture him for the rest of his life, for all eternity rather. That is sick. That is asinine. For God to have made something that he claimed to be so perfect, that he claimed that he loved, that is a sick kind of love. That would be like two people getting together, having a baby, only to torture the baby, to mutilate the child, to beat the teenager, and to traumatize the young adult, and ultimately keep the adult alive forever, to burn them and mutilate them and torture them and traumatize them and beat them. If a person believes that this is love and this is their God, then that person is sick, just as your God is sick. Your God who created people all over the world who never knew of him, never heard of him, and yet he has sentenced them to damnation, to torture. That through the spreading of his message, he used torture and violence and war to spread his word to those who had never heard of him, through slavery, through colonization, through war, and that his teachings would spread to people who would say that we must genocide other people just as the Bible genocided people. This is your God's love. This is the God that you want people to believe in. But you claim that you have free will. It's not free will. It is an ultimatum. And thankfully, it is a false ultimatum that has absolutely zero power. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.